Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. I am Afefe with Touch by Tarot. I'm here for the full moon in Aquarius reading, right? Excited for this one. It's a super moon. We have a full moon in Aquarius, fixed sign, big ideals, humanitarian stuff, right? Little bit of a rebel, all of that coming while the sun is in Leo, another fixed sign. Leo is ruled by the sun. So this reading is all about, think about the ways that you are meant to shine, the ways that you are meant to show up in your life, and the ways that you can do so with no excuses. Because Aquarius is about, live and let live. Be who you are. It is about authenticity. It is about our ideals. And it is also about weighing a little bit between how we express ourselves in the world and not being afraid to be a little rebellious if it means speaking up for ourselves, speaking our truth, speaking truth to power, right? However that shows up in your life. It's about that, but it's also about taking into consideration the big picture. How do my actions influence the world around me? All right. Aquarius is very concerned with that. The other dynamic before we go into the spreads I wanted to mention and point out to you guys is, remember, the sun is in Leo, this full moon is in Aquarius. Both of those signs are what they call fixed signs. They are signs that can be very, I don't want to use the word stubborn, but just very, like that stand your ground. That's it. They're very stand your ground kind of energies where it takes a lot. When they are convinced, Leo and Aquarius, when they are convinced of a truth, when their courage is involved or challenged in some way, you have got some energy on your hands. Two incredibly beautiful signs. And so keeping in mind, full moon in Aquarius, but the sun is still in Libra. So both of those energies are very much at play during this full moon. All right? All right. I've got 3 piles in front of me. If you're new to my channel, I do monthly pick a cards for the new moon and the full moon. My process, just to save a little time, you don't see me sitting here flipping 1,000 cards, is before I tape, I do my prayers, I pull a catalyst. That's how you're going to choose. I'll show them to you in a moment. And then I do my prayers and I pull the cards. I do not see these cards until I start taping and interpreting for you. All right, so that's my promise to you. And I just do it again just to save a little time so I'm not chit-chatting, the whole time while I'm doing the cards. All right, having said that, let's go right in. For those of you who are drawn to pile number 1, your message from your higher self, your guides for this full moon in Aquarius has to do with shining through. Shining through. Kind of makes sense, right? With the sun in Leo, right? We're still in Leo season. And Aquarius having to do with that idealism, speaking your truth, honoring who you really are, clinging to your ideals, believing in your ideals, believing in something more, shining through. Pile number 1. Pile number 2, a powerful move. Look at that little chess piece at the top there, right? So that's pile number 2. You maybe have things going on in your life where you're making some major shifts, or you're putting some major plans, starting a business, etc. You'll know what that means if that's for you. But it's a powerful move. All right, that'll be pile number 2. And finally, pile number 3, opening to discovery. Opening to discovery. If that really pings you, perhaps you are going through a deeply transformational time, or you're curious about, is it time for me to, start to do some things in a different way? Opening to discovery. All right? All right. So pile number 1, shining through. Pile number 2, that powerful move. Or pile number 3, opening to discovery. Give you a second to just shining through. Powerful move, opening to discovery. And it may be more than one, could be all 3. Go with what you feel, all right? All right, so I'm going to move these other 2 stacks out of the way. We'll get to those in a minute. And let's go in on, for those of you who felt drawn to this shining through. Let's see what Spirit has to say to you for this full moon in Aquarius. How are you unique? How are you different? How, you know, what are you thinking big enough, right? We have indecision. That's really interesting with Venus and Libra. So shining through could be, you know, everything that I pull, your stacks are all going to relate back to your catalyst message. So shining through, some indecision going on for you. We're going to get to the root of that. Versatility, that could be what's causing the indecision. We have the Four of Wands in the tarot. I'll show you the cards, of course. We have the Two of Pentacles. We have a cocoon stage. That's why that's definitely related to that indecision. Because something in you, and we've got rest. Ooh, all right. Using different decks, and you know how if you're new to me, I use different decks because that's how Spirit speaks to me. I'll see a theme, a narrative. I'll see a story start to develop by using the different decks. And when things come up on the table that are sort of common, you know that Spirit is definitely speaking. Spirit is speaking, okay? All right. If you chose this pile number 1, shining through, this full moon for you all is truly a time of releasing some older version of yourself, really. Because going into this cocoon means that you're becoming something else. And maybe it is the way that you've typically seen yourself, or the way you defined yourself, the way you identified yourself. Aquarius has a lot to do with the collective identity, right? It's how we see ourselves in relation to others. You know, if someone says to you, you're in conversation, hey, who are you? What do you do? You'll say, you know, oh, I'm a computer technician, or I'm a hairstylist, or I'm a tarot reader, or I'm this, you know, it's how you identify. And for you all, pile number 1, it is the way that you identify. You are going through a stage where you're starting to reassess that. And it's caused you to go into that cocoon stage, because that's a beautiful thing. What happens after, when you're ready to come out, that's, you know, you come out of that cocoon stage ready to show up in a different way in the world. And you don't know yet exactly what that is. I think that's also part of why you're in that cocoon stage, because this indecision is coming up for you, saying it is a time of you needing to take the time to really assess that. If you are thinking about a career change, if you are making some changes in your relationship status, all of those things where it would literally shift your identity, then that's what this indecision is about. And I think because it came, remember your other card here was rest. And it's saying slowing down, connect to nature, and calm your system. There is this need, thinking about this indecision, there's a purpose to it. So don't get frustrated. Spirit is saying, tell you that. Don't get frustrated with yourself. There's no deficiency, or you're not on a timetable. So if in fact you are at a stage right now where you're like, I'm just not quite so sure, that in and of itself, pay attention to your gut. There's a reason for that, because you are in this cocoon stage, and this cocoon stage is allowing you to rest and calm yourself. I love that they put it that way, because calm your system, it has to do with taking the time to sort of reset. You know, you may really need at this time, drink a lot of water, take vitamins, do things that calm your nervous system. If you feel anxious, perhaps there is, talk about indecision, when you could be going through, you know, this could be a big decision that you're trying to make, and that can make us anxious, and it can get your nervous system, you know, out of whack a little bit, so that you're not sleeping as well, or your mind, that makes it harder to make decisions because your mind gets a little overactive. It's time for you to rest and connect with nature. In this card in particular, I love the way she's, you know, she's definitely connecting with the energy of that tree. So it's time, whether it's in nature, in a park, in the forest, but there's something about when you get in nature, studies have shown, it's scientifically true, our bodies, our nervous systems respond when we are in nature. You know, there's something about our connection, sort of that electromagnetic connection. You know, if possible, take your shoes off. You know, if it's safe, take your shoes off and connect with the earth, all right? So just know that this time of rest is deliberate. Your spirit, your inner self, your higher self, don't get stressed out. Don't get impatient with yourself. This is a reset for you. All right. Versatility came up. Remember? And I think that's also, excuse the dog barking. It's a big dog next door. He'll shush in a moment. There's versatility here because in order for you to calm your nervous system, okay, to feel like I understand I need to make a decision, I'm going to make a decision, I'm going to make some shifts, but it's not time yet. This is because you do have to be versatile with it. The way that you thought when you were making that decision or decide, okay, it's time for me to do something different in my job, or it's time, this relationship needs a little tweaking, or I've been single long enough, maybe I'm ready to date again, or whatever life shift. And this is a life shift. This isn't like, what am I gonna wear, for the party or the wedding kind of thing. This isn't that. This is life stuff going on here. And it's gonna require you to be a little versatile and to look at things from different angles. Thank you, Spirit. That goes back to the indecision, because it's all purposeful for you, pile number one. It is important for you to okay, here's how I could really see the outcome if I do it this way, and here's another outcome if I do it that way. Like literally taking the time to examine the full picture, Aquarius, big picture. How's it going to affect me, and how's it going to impact the world around me, the people around me, my home, the larger issue. That's why that versatility is coming up for you. You have the Four of Wands, and it says their little keywords on this deck is good health or home. Isn't that what we were just talking about? Some of you are considering a move. And it could be a big move. It could be moving from one state to another, one home, selling a house and moving into another. It could be downsizing. But there's, again, this is a larger life issue. It's going to have a long-lasting impact. And that's why you do need to take your time with it. So when you come out of that cocoon, you're laser focused, and how you see yourself in this new situation. So the Four of Wands is often very much about commitment. It can very often signal an actual physical move to a new home. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that very often too, it can signal an opportunity to be with another, to unite with another. It is a beautiful card for weddings, commitments, moving in with one another, that love life, and feeling like you have cause to celebrate. This is an incredibly celebratory energy. So it's almost like, it took me all of these steps. It took all of these experiences for me to finally get to this place. And then when you do it, the fours are very solid. They're foundational. They are what hold you up. They're what you stand on. So pile number one, that is a lot of what you're going through right now. It's almost like you're hitting this reset so that you know who and what and where you stand. All going back to your identity. And lo and behold, I did not see this. I promise you all, because I'm so busy talking, I didn't really hone in on this card until I just picked it up. Look how clear Spirit is speaking to you all today. You have here the Two of Pentacles. What does it say? Indecision and priorities. Let's go. Let's go. Right? Let's be grateful. What we do here is real, y'all. What we do here is real. We are connected to a divine source. All right, so just I love the confirmations. I can never get enough. I love them every single day. Two of Pentacles, some indecision, and it's about priorities. Because often with the Two of Pentacles, what's happening is you have to weigh both sides of something, or you may need to. Let's use a job situation. You may need to continue to work, to work at a certain job, or if you're in business for yourself, you may need to continue to do things, par for the course from a totally practical standpoint. Bills got to get paid. Things need to be done. But that cannot stop your larger purpose and larger dream. I'm going to do this now because it serves that practical purpose. But this is not my whole life. This is not my vision for myself. This is not my identity, my larger identity. that I am growing into. This is not the shift that I want to make. So there could be a timing element for some of you all. And that is also why I think you were getting that rest and calming your nervous system, because there may be a part of you that's like, I know what I want and I want it now. I want it yesterday, okay? But from a practical standpoint, because pentacles are very practical. Pentacles are very much about, your money, your health, your body, your home. It's the tangible stuff in our life. It's it's the stuff that we do need to account for. And this Pentacles is coming to say, you've got to set your priorities. That's part of why you're in that cocoon, because you need this time of rest. And nature, again, is definitely a plus for you all, wherever you are, to the extent that, even if you're working from home, open up your windows where you can see the outdoors. Nature for you all right now is very, very important. All right? So, just to recap, for this full moon in Aquarius, it is about you having your shining through, is you getting to the point. You are in a stage of development. You are in a stage where you are connecting to this thing that is calling you, this next phase of life that is calling you, perhaps this relationship that is calling you, or you doing what is necessary to begin to manifest your soulmate, manifest your next relationship, all right? Opening yourself, but going into that cocoon and rest phase, because how you picture that, what it is that you really need from that, all right? It's a time of assessment, because you realize that going into something, again, Aquarius energy, and the sun in Leo says, I need to be able to show up in whatever my next endeavor is, truly who I am, no excuses, remembering that little rebelliousness in Aquarius, all right? I'm not making excuses for who I am. I've earned who I am. I deserve to have someone accept me for who I am. I deserve success in business based on my skills and the fact that I am unique. Uniqueness having a lot to do with Aquarius energy as well. And also with Leo, there's that I deserve to be applauded for who I am. I deserve to be acknowledged. I deserve that recognition for everything that I've accomplished in terms of your personal development. Perhaps you are healing from some illness. Again, resetting your nervous system and getting in nature. Whatever your challenges have been, pile number one, right? Whatever area of life. And usually with tarot and most divination systems, we're all looking at money, love, health, life purpose, connection to source. There's those fundamental things that keep us going, that keep us motivated, that make us happy. That's you shining through at this time, pile number one. And I have one last card for you, for everyone. I'm going to pull a card from it's called the Soul Truth deck. It's a message from your soul that you can carry forward during this time as you go through this cocoon stage. Get your nervous system down, meditate, journal, eat well, get out in nature, and give yourself the time that's necessary to make this decision going forward, because it's going to be a big one and it's going to be a big move for you. That's why you're shining through. That's exactly why you are shining through. Spirit, what is their soul message? What is their soul message for pile number one? It says, who am I ready to forgive? Ooh, that could be part of why you're doing this assessment. And it says here, I am not what happened to me. I am who I choose to become. We've heard that a lot. That's one of those sayings that comes across a lot in terms of affirmations. I am not what happened to me. I am who I choose to become. It says, is it time to let go, forgive, and move onward? Is your soul ready to forgive someone else or yourself? Sometimes we beat up on ourselves. Forgiveness brings sweet release. Release having a lot to do with the full moon energy. Forgiveness brings sweet release, freedom, and insight. Look at it from their shoes. Notice how you grew and what you learned. Who do you want to become? Cocoon, right? Who do you want to become, and how is this resistance holding you from what your soul wants? And then it says for an action that you can take during this full moon, write a forgiveness letter and then practice the Ho'oponopono prayer. I'm going to put that in the description box for you all. Prayer, do it the prayer today while thinking of the person you are ready to forgive. Keep reading Afefe and you'll get it. This is the prayer. I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And again, it could be a prayer that you're saying to yourself. If you're feeling like you made some wrong moves in the past, who hasn't? We're all human. But if you feel like that, because who we are today, our reality today, is definitely created from the decisions and the actions and the things that we've done from the past. We didn't get here today out of nowhere. We didn't shoot out of a cannon. There are all sorts of life events and our decisions and our choices that got us here. That's what's happening for you all. Pile number 1, your shining through is your soul saying, I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Whether that you feel like some of that is ownership for yourself, or whether it is time to really own up to something that you may still be holding on to from what happened with someone else. I feel like for some of you as well, this is tied to grief. If you are still holding on to grief, you've lost someone, maybe you've lost something, maybe, economically your life changed, whatever that is. But if there is grieving, if there's a sense of loss, there is a process for you to go through right now that is coming through as forgiveness. Forgiveness meaning release, okay? I love you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. All right? And that is what's going to help you shine through. All right, pile number 1. Beautiful, beautiful reading for you. Please let me know your thoughts if that, in fact, was the pile that you chose. There's so much coming your way. So much coming your way. And it's about you being patient with yourself and allow yourself to go through that cocoon process to release and forgive so that when you shine through and emerge, boom, it's all systems go for you. All right? Okay. Moving on to pile number 2. Those of you who chose this powerful move. Let's see how this full moon in Aquarius is coming for you. Revenge. We'll get to that. Speak your truth. All right, we got a little rebellion. Talking about Aquarius has its rebellious side. We got a little rebelliousness. Powerful move. Thank you, Spirit. Because you're ready. You're like, shh, watch me. Okay. We have the Page of Swords. 2 of Cups. A flight. Taking flight. And repeating patterns. Breaking some sort of cycle. Okay. Your powerful move, for those of you who were really attracted to this powerful, powerful move? This is a relationship, and it could be romantic, but it also could be in business. But for you all, it's in order for you to move forward with this partnership, with this relationship, with this decision to do something else in business. I feel like I want another card here, another tarot. What area of life? 7 of Pentacles. This is something that you've built or are building, and now you're ready to do something else with it to finish it up. And the High Priestess. Okay. Your powerful move, pile number 2, is you're at a point where you're not going to let anyone else dictate to you what you know better for yourself is the truth and what needs to be done. There is something happening with you all right now where things have gotten to a point. And I feel like this is twofold. I actually pulled the extra cards because I was trying to get a sense from Spirit if we were going in a more personal relationship direction or a business direction. It's both. It's twofold for you all. And I'm saying that as well because I've got double twos here with the high priestess who came and then also the two of cups. This is relationship oriented, but it could be a business partnership, or for your business to succeed, it's how you are interacting with someone else. It also could very well be in your home. And this relationship, it feels then more like it would be an existing relationship versus trying to go for something new. This is more of an existing relationship, and the powerful move has to do with you knowing for yourself what you want to do next in it. If it's working, fine. How do we continue to build on it and make our investments and build this life that we're building together? Let's do something that solidifies what our plans are, okay? But also, it's about the role that you play in that decision making, and making sure that you don't just nod yes, or you don't just go along to get along. It's about speaking your truth and not being afraid to speak up, that Aquarius energy, because revenge, it's so interesting that we got this revenge card. This is Mars in Scorpio. Like, that's what a combination that is. It feels like, and look, he's holding the head, he's got his off with the head. Like, there's something here, pile number 2, there's something here that you got challenged, and it went deep. And it could be that because when Mars comes in Scorpio, there's this wow, I really wish you hadn't done that kind of vibe. You know, it's this, what it does is, rather than necessarily make you want to fight back, revenge, you know, they say revenge, it's like success is revenge's sweetest, success is the sweetest revenge, and right? It's almost like your, whatever this was, it put you in a position of saying, all right, watch me. You know what I mean? So it's a very internal process that you have gone through. I'm not seeing necessarily that you've had to, you know, you've been out here duking it out with anybody. I sure hope not. But it's more about whatever the challenges were. Your revenge, I'm gonna put that in quotes, is you're doubling back. There's something in you all, pile number 2, like, you have this warrior energy, right? Or else you are beginning to tap into it. If you didn't know you had it, that's that 7 of Pentacles. You are discovering it about yourself, okay? If you didn't feel like a warrior, if you haven't identified with warrior energy, guess what? Spirit is here to tell you today that is in fact a lot of who you are and who you have become. And the challenges that you've faced have built that warrior muscle with you. And that is what allows you to speak your truth at this time. Page of Swords, what a compliment to speaking your truth. Because Page of Swords is going to do that. However, Page of Swords also says, be careful of not only what you say, but listen very intently. With the priestess coming on there, listen very intently and pay attention to your intuition with what others tell you. Because there could have been, I feel like for some of you, you were very trusting in the past. You were very innocent, and maybe, in all due respect, I can relate to this even, you may have been a little gullible. You know what I mean? You may have been a little naive. And so therefore people took advantage of that, or someone took advantage of that, or in a business context, you were passed over and not treated well, not treated properly. So this revenge is more about you, again, showing up, powerful move, showing I'm going to show you and everybody else who I really am, what I'm really made of. I'm not going to lay down for anybody, speaking your truth to yourself, but also recognizing that you can't always believe things on the surface. That is a lesson that you've had to learn, pile number 2. You can't always take people at their word. You can't always take things at their surface. You do have to take the time to study it and drill down that 7 of Pentacles. Now, we have flight. But I think rather than you escaping something, running from something, flight, I think this is you moving toward taking flight to become more. to go out and explore what else there is for you, and to do so unapologetically. Like, that word just came through really, really strongly. And you've got repeating patterns here. And awareness. Having awareness, what is the lesson, and breaking the cycle. It fits. If you feel, pile number 2, I'll show you this, repeating patterns. If you feel like at this stage of life, and this full moon, the way it's impacting you, it's got you kind of reviewing, who did this, when it happened, how it happened. That's that assessment again, going back to that 7 of Pentacles, taking stock of what the heck is going on, because you're ready to make a powerful move. You are ready to move on with your life and execute some other type of plan. But you are like, doggone, if I'm going to allow breaking those repeating patterns of trusting someone or trusting others to do something and then they let you down, or investing your time, your money, your energy, if this is relationship oriented, your physical affections, investing those things that are really valuable. They're valuable in people or things or circumstances that ultimately treated it as if disposable. No, and no again, right? Not today, not tomorrow, and not the day after that. Your powerful move has a lot to do with being at a place where you are coming to terms with your own stance, your own self. And your revenge, for some reason, I gotta say it the way I'm feeling it, the way Spirit is giving it to me. Revenge can actually work in your favor, but not in terms of like doing something bad to somebody. We know not that. It's more like the revenge allowing you to tap into your warrior, your inner warrior. It is a tool that you can use to make yourself feel more like, watch me. You know what I mean? It'll energize you. It'll get you motivated. You will not repeat those patterns, or Spirit is saying, just keep in mind, keep affirming that for yourself. I will not tolerate being lied to. I will not tolerate having my voice unheard. That going back to your speak your truth. I will not tolerate being diminished, or not being heard, or not being valued, or being undervalued. Not tolerating any of that anymore. Those repeating patterns are gone bye-bye. And that's why you are in the position of this powerful move. This change in your own philosophy about yourself is a powerful move. All right? You go. All right, let's see. Let's get a soul truth message for you. This is a message from your soul, from your higher self, something that you need to know so you can apply it going forward. Keeping in mind, you are entitled to your truth. Owning up to the fact that you should always pay attention to your gut and do what you know is right. And how you go about that, sure, you do have to navigate that when you are in a relationship, when you're in a business context, when you have things at stake, and what you do impacts others, Aquarius energy. But that doesn't mean that you dumb it down or you walk away from your own truth just to keep somebody else and, keep that in place. That's not what's happening anymore. And that's that powerful move for you, pile number 2. Your soul message is, or soul truth message, your self-awareness message is, what excuses am I making right now? No more waiting. There will never be a good enough time. The time is now. If it's important enough to you, you will find a way. That's that powerful move. Today, make a decision and do it, even if you don't feel ready. Listen to your heart, that high priestess, your intuition. Listen to your heart and you will be led. That's the high priestess. So what excuses are you making right now? Powerful move. Spirit is basically saying here, pile number 2, It ain't necessarily so. If in this situation where you were given those challenges, perhaps you were too trusting. We talked about that. Maybe a little naive, maybe a little gullible. You got taken in. You took people at face value. You took this partner at face value. You took this job, etc. You know what your situation is, but it's like you, in order to cope, you grew accustomed to making excuses for the behavior. And we all do that. We develop a rationale. Oh, well, they were having a bad day, or they really didn't mean it the way that it came across. I know them better than that. You know what I mean? We begin to rationalize things. And so what Spirit is saying, this powerful move, that's done. It says if it's important enough to you, you'll find a way. You make a decision to do it even if you don't feel ready. That goes back into that Seven of Pentacles energy as well, because sometimes with the sevens, we get so busy assessing a situation. We're going to keep moving, but we can stay in that assessment pose, just kind of looking around. Should I, shouldn't I? How do I build? Reevaluating things, it feeds that revenge energy, especially if what you're reevaluating is something that, wasn't right, and it was a challenge for you. But it says, listen to your heart and you will be led. All right, that's why the High Priestess came for you. You don't have to make excuses, basically, is what Spirit is saying, pile number 2. It's no need. The need for the excuses, the need for rationalizing, someone else's behavior or the circumstances that you find yourself in. For some of you, this is financial even, where you realize you're in this financial situation and you begin to rationalize. And that's that 7 of, well, here's what happened. Here's why I did it. Da, 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 da. Your powerful move is to say, okay, I acknowledge it, and I'm asking, it's very important for you all at this time, pile number 2, to ask your higher self, your higher powers, your angels, God, whomever, however you identify when you connect to Source. It is crucial right now for you to connect with Source, and you speak your truth to Source, if no one else. You speak your truth out loud. If no one else, to no one else, right? That's part of what is going to help you grow and attract that 2 of Cups. Attract the good that is due you. And it is due you. That's the powerful move. It is due you. And Spirit wants to help bring this powerful move into fruition for you. They want you to, wake up when they're going to put something in your path. And that High Priestess, that inner knowing is going to ping you, and you're going to be whoa, I see something shifting here. And you're going to know. That's the powerful move. Use your warrior energy. And if you don't feel like you have warrior energy, explore that a little bit, all right, in healthy ways, because warrior energy, it can be extremely healthy. It has everything to do with self-worth, worthiness, self-esteem, being able to speak your truth and stand up for who you are with making no excuses, all right? All right, pile number 2. Let's make those moves. You got me? Let's make those moves. Let me know how that felt. Let me know how that pinged you. Because you got a lot coming your way. And there's a lot on the line. And you got this. Allow your guides to help you. Allow God, however your angels, allow the help to come in. All right? And don't back down. All right, moving on. Pile number 3, opening to discovery. For those of you who felt really called to that. Opening to discovery. Let's see what's here for you. We have a vision. Ooh, that never hurts. In nature, with a 7 of Wands, a 4 of Cups, and reflection, and a cleanse and release. Well, that's a beautiful card to get for a full moon. I'll show them to you, of course. If you chose this pile, I get it. Opening to discover. It's like you are just ready to turn a whole page. All right, you're ready to get to a whole different chapter. Maybe even just put this book up and open up a whole different book. Pile number 3. That is your like the same old how life has been, what you've done, and it could be great, whatever you've accomplished. Woohoo! But there you are churning for like a whole different experience in life right now. And I love the way these cards came together for you to describe that. Because first, okay, let's go with this. We have a vision that came up for you. Now, in this deck, they have the sun in Pisces. But think about that. Pisces is extremely imaginative. It is very much like, and it's not even worrying about looking around and seeing what's around you right now. It's all about what's possible. It's all about being dreamy and thinking, thinking things that places you haven't been, things you haven't done, experiences that you still want to have. That's the vision. Nature is very important for you. I feel like this is medicine for you all, pile number 3. It's important for you. There's something about your vision taking place in nature. It could also, for some of you, I feel like you could be, when you're in your quiet time, when you're doing your meditation, when you're just, thinking your thoughts, it could be that you see yourself in a more natural environment. For those of you who may be in a more cosmopolitan, metropolitan area, it could be that you see yourself needing a break in nature. So be prepared to make that happen for yourself at this time, or start putting things in motion to make that happen for yourself. Reflection comes as well. And that feels tied to nature for me, because it is very important for you to have moments to simply reflect. And also I feel like Spirit is saying, see yourself for who you really are. That opening to discovery, your catalyst card, reflection being, see yourself for who you really are at this time, and acknowledge that. And acknowledge all parts of yourself. I love this because in this particular depiction, the swan is both upright on the water and then sees its shadow in the water. There's an opportunity now for you to see all sides of yourself and acknowledge and reflect on all sides of yourself with no regrets. There's no judgment. It's simply taking the time to look at yourself in all of your glory, right? All of your glory. And making absolutely no, having an appreciation for that. That's part of the opening to discovery. Being able to appreciate all parts of yourself. For women, for those of you who are women, say for instance, as a, sort of a practical thing, we can be tough on ourselves. We can be tough on our bodies. And so sometimes when we get in that mirror, I wish, this were a little different, or that were, and we do. What about appreciating the function of your body? No matter, you might have a little dimple here, a little dip there. It functions beautifully. It takes you where you need to go. It allows you to dance. It allows you to breathe oxygen. You are still here, very much alive. You know what I mean? Like, that's how this feels for me. Take a moment to reflect on the beauty and power of your own existence, of your own being, all aspects of it. We got that cleanse and release card, which again is a beautiful card for a full moon, because that is part, with the new moon, we're focused on new things, manifestation, what we want to bring in. With a full moon, it is where we have learned certain things, experienced things, had the thoughts occur, messages have come through, or circumstances have started to shift, and that is a part of the release. Releasing puts things in play. Releasing is not always letting go. Or though, if it's necessary, if it's healthy for you, then of course that's what we want to do. But remember, releasing also puts things in play. For any manifestation ritual that you do, for any prayer that you pray, you are releasing your need, your thought, your want, your desire. You are releasing it to something greater. You are putting it out in the universe. You are releasing it. Cleanse and release. right? And I also think that's part of that reflection, because for some of you, it is about a cleansing that you need. And it could be cleansing in terms of diet, maybe drinking more water, more juices, doing what's necessary, more fruits, vegetables, things that are necessary to cleanse and detoxify your body, your organs. It could be that, or it could be even more of an emotional cleanse, where you take the time I'm going to hold this up again, it's just a beautiful image, where you take the time to cleanse yourself. If you have the ability to get to, I feel like more so than a shower, this does feel for me like an actual body of water. So if you have the ability to get to a lake, a river, an ocean, something where you have, you can get to natural, a waterfall. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. You get to an opportunity to really engage in water and the cleansing effects of water. And it says here, it gives you little keywords at the bottom. It says clear blocks, listen to your system, and let energy flow. Some of you are feeling really hard on yourselves, and you've been really hard on yourselves. You're not satisfied either. It could be your appearance, it could be your station in life, it could be, how things have developed for you. But you've been a little hard on yourself. And it's time to shift this, shift the script. I started this reading off by saying, what was it? Turn the page, or change the chapter, or put the book aside and read a different book. You've been reading something scientific? Let's do a romance novel, or let's do a historical novel or something. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's literally about shifting your energy. Opening to discovery is, there is more. Spirit is saying for you, pile number 3, there is more to you than you ever even knew. Okay? There's more to you than you ever even knew. And this reflection and this vision is saying it's time for you to do whatever is necessary. Go someplace different. But wear a color that you typically avoid and feel like you don't look good in. Change your nail color. Guys, if for my men, shift the haircut a little bit, okay? Put on a different t-shirt or shirt, you know what I mean? Like, shifting the dynamic of how you see yourself. Very important for you at this time. Because you got the 4 of Cups here as one of your tarot cards. And their keywords are rejection or self-pity. But look at how this person is curled up. That is a 4 of Cups energy in almost all depictions in whatever deck you use in tarot. 4 of Cups can be that feeling of self-pity. And it's not because we're pitiful, it's not even about that. It's just, we get a little tired sometimes, it's that feeling of, jeez, when are things, cut me some slack, Spirit, when are things going to start to go my way? But the thing with the 4 of Cups is, Spirit says, things are going your way, or they can go your way. You're the one holding it up. You're the one making it a little more difficult, because instead of going out and exploring the world, in this instance, great depiction, you're curled up in a ball feeling sorry for yourself. And it doesn't work that way. Cleansing and releasing brings you up out of that curled up position, and releasing whatever that feeling of dissatisfaction or loss or confusion, or just getting a little tired. Releasing handles that, and it says, okay, let's get it together. And you've got your 7 of Wands as your final card here, and it says competition or confidence. But the 7 of Wands is that stand your ground card. And again, remembering this reading is for the full moon in Aquarius while the sun is in Leo. Aquarius and Leo, I said at the beginning of the taping, remembering that they are both fixed signs. They are very much stand your ground signs. It's an energy of recognizing, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm not at the top of my game right now. Maybe I'm not shouting happiness from the rooftops in this moment. But that has nothing to do with the fact that I still can have it. It is still possible for me. I deserve it. And I am going to stand my ground. I'm going to get up out of this curled up position. I'm going to cleanse and brush myself off. And I'm going to get back out in the world and discover something more for me. And that opening to discovery. Remembering, that's your whole catalyst card, pile number 3. What you are opening to. Discovery, meaning you got to be prepared to see something you haven't seen before. Or do something you haven't done before. And in order for this new that Spirit wants to bring into your life, in order for you to feel more happiness, joy, and satisfaction, you can't just recycle the old. You've got to be ready to go out and try something different. I feel like I want another tarot card for you. And we got the 7 of Cups, fantasy and visualization. Your very first card was vision. Spirit wants you to take time, pile number 3, to begin to enjoy fantasy. And sometimes we can down that because, and very often in tarot, we down that because the 7 of Cups says, it can indicate like there are so many options, but you're so busy evaluating the options that you don't actually take the steps to bring one of them, at least starting with one, into fruition, right? But that's not what's happening for you all, pile number 3. This opening to discovery, Spirit is saying, look at things, give yourself more options, Take some time and look at all that is around you, all that is available to you. Think about some life experiences that may have felt a little too out there, For some of you may be here in America and you've always wanted to visit Europe. But it just seems a little, especially in the last few years, right, with the pandemic, but maybe even for financial reasons, other reasons, it just seems beyond your reach. And Spirit is saying, push that to the side, cleanse and release that, and begin to imagine the possibilities. What would you look like sitting in a cafe in Rome or Italy or Greece? You know what I mean? Begin to think about the possibilities. Fantasize with the possibilities, because that is a key component to manifestation, as many of us, who study that know. Is sometimes it really starts, things begin to move in the universe because I'm sorry if you hear a little noise in the background, the street cleaners are coming through. Sometimes there is, fantasy is visualization. You got that vision in nature is what starts things to happening, All of a sudden you talk to someone else and they're talking, I always wanted to visit Italy or Rome or whatever, Venice, whatever. And you go, I've been thinking about that. Okay. And suddenly, maybe it seemed financially just out of your control, but there are things that can start to come your way. Maybe you get an opportunity to make more money or do something where that money comes toward you. And so suddenly what felt like you did not have the means to make it happen, Spirit does not know anything about limitations, and certainly not when it comes to money, which is a form of energy, right? All right. Opening to discovery, opening to the possibilities, okay? I sure wish they would move on. How dirty can the street be? I'm sorry for that. All right, your soul message. Am I ready to let go of this buried shame? Woo! The feeling of shame is the lowest energy frequency there is. When you live in shame, you live in darkness. What part of you is ready to stand in the light? Remembering that the sun is in Leo and Aquarius is about the idealism, having a bigger vision for yourself. Is there any shame from a past experience that's ready to be healed? So this discovery of yourself is a revival. It says, replace the shame with your soul's truth. My soul's truth is blank. Pile number 3, this rejection and pity is because there's a part of you that has felt ashamed. And maybe it is even shame in the sense of not feeling good enough. That you have been put in positions, and I feel like for some of you, this is some sort of lingering, even, your inner child, some energy that you've carried with you in this lifetime that has maybe even mushroomed and really taken root in you, that made you just not feel good enough, not seen, not heard, not worthy, not deserving. And now Spirit is saying this opening to discovery for you is you coming into a recognition and seeing yourself in a different light and imagining the possibilities with that fantasy, that Seven of Cups, beginning to imagine the possibilities of a different you, a different version of you, and your entitlement to that. That's that Seven of Wands, right? The confidence, your entitlement to that. You are entitled to let go. And notice too, I'm cueing in on this word, buried shame. So this does feel like something for you, pile number 3. This opening to discovery is where you have to go back and almost exhume, that's the word they're giving me. You have to exhume the source of what made you feel less than, so that you can look at it for what it is and then stand up to it and develop a different version of yourself and a different vision for yourself. Remember, you got that vision card. And that also explains why reflection came for you all, because it is going to be a period of time where you have to stand back and go, I understand, I'm looking at how this happened. I don't like it. Nobody's Spirit is not saying you need to. It's not about, let's make peace with it and put it in the context of, I understand now why I had to endure this. No, you don't. What you do, what you are going to do is go, but you know what? I'm better than that. And I'm ready for more. I deserve more. And I don't even know what more is because I haven't had the time to experience it yet. But that's why that Seven of Cups comes for you. Because Seven of Cups says, okay, let's unfold ourselves from this time of feeling stuck or dissatisfied. And let's just start looking at what the possibilities are. Doesn't cost us a dime to just imagine. Imagination does not cost a dime. And that is your opening to discovery, pile number 3. It's time for you to imagine more. And if you imagine it often enough, stronger enough, more convincingly enough, watch and see how Spirit starts to put things in your path to bring some of what was just an imagination, a vision, to bring it to life. All right, I'm gonna spare your ears with we got clean streets out here apparently. I am so sorry for that. Enjoy this new moon energy. Let me know what your thoughts are. I wish you the absolute best, and I'll talk to you really, really soon. Bye.